I hadn't touched her things in 2 years. I couldn't. But that morning, something told me to clean out the closet. And that's when I found the coat. The one she wore the night before she died. I almost threw it away, until I felt something heavy in the pocket. My name is Daniel. And for 2 years, I lived like a shadow in my own house. Losing my wife, Mira, felt like losing the sunlight itself. Nothing warmed me. Nothing reached me. I just existed. Every morning, I sat on the edge of the bed and told myself, just breathe. That's enough for today. One Saturday, without planning to, I walked into the closet, the one place I avoided since she passed. Her scent still lived there. Lavender and something sweet. Something like home. I stood in silence, staring at her clothes. I knew I couldn't keep everything forever. But the thought of letting anything go felt like betrayal. Still, I needed to try. So, I started with the coat. A dark brown winter coat she wore during our last date. It was a cold December night when she insisted on walking because, she said, the world feels softer when it's cold. I smiled at the memory, then swallowed the ache that followed. This is the one, I whispered to myself. I'll start with this. I carried the coat toward the donation box I'd set up in the corner of the room. But halfway there, I felt something inside the pocket. A small, hard object. I froze. My hands started shaking. Slowly, carefully, I reached inside and pulled out a tiny silver voice recorder. It was the same one I bought for her when she first started her poetry hobby. It was scratched, old, but the little red light blinked when I touched a button. It was still working. I stared at it for a long time. Should I press play? Could I? My heart was pounding in my chest. Finally, I did. A soft click. Then, her voice. Daniel, if you're hearing this, it means you finally touched the coat. And I'm proud of you. I collapsed onto the floor. My heart stopped. My breath caught in my throat. She continued, her voice so clear, so present. I recorded this on our last walk. You were inside buying hot chocolate, and I was waiting outside, thinking about life. And about you. So, I made this message. For someday. I covered my mouth to muffle a sob. Her voice was so warm, alive, I could hear her laughing lightly in the background as cars passed by. I know you blame yourself for not noticing how sick I was. I know you think you could have saved me. Tears streamed down my face. Every single day, I lived with that thought. It was a weight I couldn't shake. But listen to me. You saved me more than any medicine ever could. You made me feel seen, not loved. Safe. Her words washed over me, a gentle wave against the rocky shore of my grief. And I want you to keep living, Danny. Love again. Laugh again. Walk in the cold again. Not for me, but for you. I cried harder then, but this time it felt different. Not just pain, but release. My love for you doesn't end here, she said, her voice soft and steady. It just changes shape. And wherever you go, I'll be in the quiet moments. In warm coffee. In winter coats. In anything that makes you smile. The message ended. But I stayed there on the floor for so long, just holding the recorder to my chest as if it were her hand. The next day, I didn't clean the closet. I didn't force anything. Instead, I walked outside. In the cold. With her coat wrapped around me. And for the first time in 2 years, the world felt a little softer. Months later, I finally donated many of her clothes. One kept a few precious ones, of course. But the coat. I still wear it every winter. Not because I'm holding on to the past, but because her last message taught me how to let go without forgetting. The lesson in all this is that love stays, not always in the way we expect, but always in the way we need. If this story touched your heart, please don't just scroll away. Share it so someone else can feel the light too. Thanks for listening.